While the horrors of the Holocaust are widely known, another brutal chapter of World War II often remains in the shadows: the Great Slaughter in the Balkans. In the so-called independent state of Croatia, a puppet state of Nazi Germany, the ultranationalist Ustaše regime unleashed a campaign of terror. Their goal was the systematic extermination of Serbs, Jews, and Roma. It's estimated that up to 1 million Serbs were murdered in a brutal genocide. They were targeted in their homes, in their churches, and in a network of concentration camps, like Jasenovac, which rivaled the Nazi camps in their cruelty. This wasn't just a byproduct of war. It was a state-sanctioned policy of annihilation, a tragedy that deserves to be remembered alongside the others. But the darkness didn't end there. As the war drew to a close, even the forces fighting for liberation, the Allies, were not without their own stains. While celebrated as heroes, it's a difficult truth that war crimes were committed on all sides. Allied bombing campaigns, intended to cripple the enemy's war machine, sometimes resulted in the devastating loss of civilian life in cities like Dresden and Tokyo. There were also documented cases of mistreatment and summary executions of prisoners of war, and in the chaotic aftermath of liberation, revenge killings against suspected collaborators occurred, sometimes without trial or evidence. Acknowledging these truths doesn't diminish the righteousness of the Allied cause, but it does paint a more complete and honest picture of the brutal reality of total war. So why have so many of these stories been buried or forgotten? The answer lies in the complex and often messy world of post-war politics. As the ashes of World War II settled, a new global conflict emerged: the Cold War. The focus shifted from punishing old enemies to forging new alliances against the Soviet Union. For the sake of political expediency, many uncomfortable truths were swept under the rug. Nations wanted to protect their reputations and project an image of moral clarity. Some perpetrators of horrific crimes even escaped justice, offered sanctuary by Western powers in exchange for intelligence against their new communist adversaries. History, it turns out, is often written by the victors, and sometimes inconvenient chapters are simply torn out. Remembering these forgotten atrocities isn't about assigning blame decades later. It's about honoring every single victim and understanding the full, complex, and often painful scope of our shared history. Only by confronting the darkest corners of the past can we hope to build a better future. Which of these forgotten stories from World War II shocked you the most? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video insightful, please consider liking and subscribing for more deep dives into history.